and Notre Dame share a football field. The Irish have been so good on this stage, winning 28 of their last 29 here in South Bend. Brian Kelly set to lead them out, and here come the Irish. Brian Kelly, game 380 as a college football head coach, 10 of them against Navy. He's won 8. His team finishing out a 3-game homestand, and they have played well here in South Bend. We'll talk to Catherine Tappan in a minute. But first, the gentleman who's been coming here since 1930, 37th visit by the midshipman from the United States Naval Academy. The winningest coach in Navy history, including 3 victories over the Irish, is Ken Niumatalolo. On this 55-degree cloudless day down to the sideline, Catherine Tappan with Brian Kelly. KT.
Coach, the Naval Academy is Notre Dame's most played against opponent in program history. This is the 94th meeting today. What makes it special for you?
The tradition, right? I mean, we were trying to find games back in the 20s. Jesse Hupp was looking around. Navy was the only one that would play us. And so, you know, obviously that history, that tradition goes back to World War II, where, you know, Navy helped keep this university open. And we just have such a respect for the Academy. And these are hard-fought games. Kenny Niumatalolo's got a great football team. They play the option well, and we've got a challenge in our hands.
Your team is coming off their most complete offensive performance against North Carolina last week. But what is the biggest challenge you face in facing this triple option?
Yeah, not seeing it, you know. I mean, obviously you do other things all year. You know, you get all these practices and you don't spend a lot of time on options. So they're extremely talented in terms of what they do and how they do it. And we'll have to try to stop it today.
Coach, thanks so much.
All right, thank you.
Guys, senior linebacker Drew White suffered a left knee injury in practice this week, but Brian Kelly just telling me moments ago he is good to go for this game. That is good news for the Irish. What isn't is that junior midseason All-American Kyle Hamilton will sit out his 2nd straight game today with a right knee injury. We will see him on the sidelines, though, with that earpiece in his ear and his notepad in hand, trying to help this defense defend the triple option today. Mike?
Getting ready as you speak, Catherine. Thank you. Drew Brees, fun week to study the triple option. It's a different week, as you heard Brian Kelly, especially for the Irish defense.
Yeah. Pretty much just the service academies run the triple option in college football. So you very rarely see this once a year for Notre Dame. Some of those defensive players may have never seen it in their life up to this point. So completely throw everything else out the window that you've learned about defense. It's a whole new week. It's a whole new game plan. And the design of the triple option is to always do something that can beat you. No matter what you do, we have an answer for it.
As she does so often, Catherine said it perfectly. Most complete offensive performance last week. You feel like Notre Dame's finding an identity and a consistency on that side of the ball?
I do. They finally have consistency and continuity up front with the offensive line, which has resulted in an average of over 200 yards rushing in the last 3 games. And from a passing game perspective, Jack Cohn very comfortable in this more up-tempo offense the last couple weeks. They've been very efficient.
And Navy, the setting, the scene, the rivalry, as you've gotten ready to call a Navy game for the first time, what's come to mind for you?
This has been incredible. Such a mutual respect and admiration between these two institutions. They've supported each other through some really tough times throughout the years. And their commitment to developing the next great leaders of this country is very evident. Their morals, their standards are just at another level.
It's a fun football game. It's more than a football game. It's kind of fun to be a part of it, and some of the midshipmen made the trip from Annapolis here to South Bend. Navy won the toss and deferred the option to the second half, so the Irish will be on offense first. As we said, for November 6th, hard to think you could find a better day in South Bend. 55 degrees, not a cloud in the sky. Chris Tyree back for the Irish, ready to accept the kickoff from Evan Warren. Maybe he starts that unique setup and then splits the guys out. Perhaps a look at an onside kick from Navy. And then everyone deploys. It's a chance Warren, the slot back for Navy, who is there over the ball instead of the regular kickoff man. He's back, his shadow you see there. And now emerging into the picture, Evan Warren for the kickoff. And off we go from South Bend with a ball that goes out of bounds, and will give the Irish the ball at the 35-yard line. Hank Johns will be our referee in charge of the game today.
Free kick out of bounds. Navy. Ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
Hank from the conference representing Navy, the American Conference. So our Hyundai starting lineups. Kyron Williams, 337 of his 707 on the ground, coming in the last 2 games. And up front for Notre Dame, 4th straight game, it's this offensive line. And Jared Patterson, very steady, top-graded Notre Dame player for the season, according to Pro Football Focus. The O-line got the game ball last week for their efforts against North Carolina. So for Jack Cohn, the graduate quarterback from Long Island, starts at the 35. We tell you the offensive line got the game ball, that they're playing great.
False start. Offense, number 75. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
And they give you that. And it's Josh Lugg who had the false start. We talked to Josh yesterday. Engaging, fun, enjoyable conversation. Obviously, he left more excited than we did. He wanted to get started early.
He did.
That's one thing Notre Dame has emphasized. You cannot make mistakes and give Navy opportunities. Williams turns the corner, gains 6 yards on first down as he is bumped out of bounds. So the season-long starter, Jack Cohn, 9th start for this season. That's 27th of his career. He had a couple good games, but a solid game last week with 213 passing, 1 touchdown throwing, but the rushing touchdown, the 21-yarder, really a highlight for Cohn, not known for his legs, last week against the Tar Heels. Officially a gain of 5 for Williams, and now a gain of 2 to the left side. It'll set up 3rd and 8 for this Notre Dame offense against a Navy defense that's given up some big plays, but they're playing better of late. Jarius Warren from Mississippi is the explosive guy up front. Diego Fago on his way to being the Navy's top tackler for the 3rd straight year. On the back end, keep an eye on 5. Michael McMorris. He's made big plays all season, including a touchdown-saving tackle against Tulsa last Friday night. 3rd and 8 for Cohn. Going to take off and not going to get there. We stopped at the 40, and the man we mentioned, Jarius Warren, with the tackle. It's 4th down, and the Irish will punt.
Look to see this. It's a 3-man rush from Navy up front. They're not getting a lot of pressure, but what they are getting is an additional man in coverage. 8 men in coverage. As you can see, nobody open. Jack Cohn is forced to take off and run. That's a really good first drive stop by the Navy defense.
As you see, Jay Bramlett set to punt it away for the Irish. That is exactly what Notre Dame has talked about. Teams that have kept Navy in the game for 4 quarters, even though they were more talented, did things like that. False start, making a difficult opening drive. Short punt of only 30 yards, so advantage Navy in this first opportunity of the game. Here's the Navy offense. The fullbacks get the most triple option action. The slot backs like Chance Warren are very active on the edge of this offense. Up front, they have some youth. Darrelson Masaniai from Hawaii starts because of injury, and you see all 3 interiors, the guard, the center, the guard, all sophomores. Not as experienced in front of Ty Lavatai, the sophomore quarterback from Northeast Florida, St. John's, Florida. And he and the midshipman will take over at the 30-yard line. And he'll throw on first down, and it's incomplete. They didn't complete a pass at all last week, so we're trying to change that quickly and get one out to Jaden Umbarger. It was incomplete. So Lavatai started the opener, injured his right knee, missed the next 2 games. But he's returned to the starting lineup. 0 for 3 passing last week, but got the victory because this is what Navy does. They run the ball. This guy's only thrown 39 passes this year, now 40, compared to 117 rushing attempts. 2nd and 10, and Lavatai is tackled right away as he tried to keep it. It was well read by Jason Adamilola for the Irish, strong inside.
Well, you want to talk about setting the tone right here. Jason Adamilola, he's the guy they're leaving unblocked for the quarterback to read. He's either going to give it to the fullback or keep it. Obviously made the wrong decision there.
This offense not built for situations like this. 3rd and 12 for Lavatai. Really completed 21 of those 40 passes he's thrown this year. It's the give inside to the fullback, and James Harris will be stopped after a gain of 2, and both teams will go 3 and out for their opening drive. J.D. Bertrand with the tackle for Notre Dame. There's Ken Niumatalolo. He has been a part of this offense as an assistant when Paul Johnson brought the triple option to Annapolis, and then as the head coach now in his 14th season. His punter is Riley Reithman from Keller, Texas. Kyron Williams awaits. Good kick, flag down, 45-yarder. Fair caught at the 25-yard line by the Irish starting running back. We'll check the flag thrown on the far sideline.
During the kick, holding, receiving team, number 15. Foul be forced from the end of the kick. First down.
So Ryan Barnes, freshman for the Irish, playing on that punt team, picked up the flag. Long field for Notre Dame.
Home of the most storied program in college football.
Notre Dame football is brought to you by Gillette, the best a man can get. By Jersey Mike's, be a sub above. And by Ameriprise Financial, personalized goal-based advice for today and tomorrow. Some of the images of this series over the years, including 2012 when the game was played at Aviva Stadium in Dublin, Ireland. And the announcement yesterday that the game in 2 years, in 2023, will be played once again in Dublin, Ireland. It will be week 0, so in late August. And Brian Kelly said easy after the experience of 2012 to go over and bring so many fans over to watch Notre Dame and Navy play the Irish in Ireland. After the penalty, drive starts at the 15. Cohn's got nothing open downfield. Taking time, and that fourth man comes to get him, and the pass is incomplete over the head of Braden Lindsey. Drew, is that what you were talking about before, the 3-down lineman?
That's exactly right. This is the second time Navy's done this in a row where they only rush 3, so they drop 8. So what does that do? It puts an additional man in coverage, and you're just playing a zone where your eyes are on the quarterback, you're feeling the offensive receivers come into your zone, you cover him up, but it's forcing Jack Cohn to then have to scramble around. He hasn't been able to find an open receiver.
You see that defense for Navy is playing better, and they have emerged over the last couple of weeks. Williams, patient to the left, waited for the block from Mayer, and goes forward for 6 yards for Kyron. Up to the 21-yard line, Rayon Lane, freshman, with a tackle. There you see the numbers of those teams, the last two, Cincinnati and then Tulsa, well under their average. It's a little bit of what we've seen in the first 5 plays here.
It is a combination of two things. The Navy offense is possessing the ball a lot more than they're probably used to, so they're not getting as many possessions, but the style is different as well.
3rd and 4, Williams in open field, cannot keep his balance, and Lane, the freshman, comes up with back-to-back stops, and the Irish go 3 and out on back-to-back drives.
Yeah, so different strategy here. This is cover 0, full blitz, so they're bringing one more than you can block. Jack Cohn has to get the ball out of his hands, and now it's just a one-on-one situation on the perimeter. Kyron Williams slipped, they get him down, and now they're off the field. Really good strategy here early on by Navy.
30 on the first punt. This one from Brownlet is much better. The fair catch signal is made at the 31-yard line by Chance Warren. Images of the game brought to you by Mercedes EQ. Imagery is always great when it's the Irish and the midshipmen under a sunshiny sky in South Bend.
Toast to Notre Dame football by raising a pint of Guinness. Now a proud partner and official beer of Fighting Irish alumni and fans. Please drink responsibly.
All of you who've been on this campus for Notre Dame Navy on cold, raw, gray November days, sorry. This is about as good as you get for Notre Dame Navy in November. What a day. Down on the field before the game. Sun's warm, spectacular. Drive 2 for the midshipmen. Ty Lavatai, the quarterback. He will pitch it, getting the slot backs a little bit of action here, and it's Carlinos Acey, the senior from McKeesport, Pennsylvania, with the first down carry. Let's check that Notre Dame defense. Busy work week for them. Getting to the end of the line, too, for the seniors. Second to last home game for Kurt Heinisch. His record 57th game for Notre Dame. Drew White, as Catherine told you, is starting with that knee injury suffered during the week in practice. It's a different look to combat the option. Jack Kaiser moves from his rover spot to safety. So he's playing the back of the defense here, out of the linebacker and rover room this week. Lavatai on the give inside to the fullback Isaac Ruas. Take it to the 39-yard line. This is what Navy loves, Drew. They've got 3rd and 3 coming up.
They'll take this all game long. Because if they get to 4th and 1, they're probably going to go for it. If they can get 3 yards on a rush, they'll do it all day long.
Ruas remains the fullback. They'll look over to the sideline. You'll watch that play clock bleed. Navy loves to snap it with about 5 or 4. They'll shorten the game.
This is about as tough a run front as you're going to see here. You have Notre Dame defenders in every gap.
AC in motion. Lavatai to throw. He'll take off now. Adamilola tackles him. He'll be one shy of the first down. But like you said, Drew, it's 4th and 1, and they are not opposed to going for it even this early.
Yeah, again, this is not the run front you want right here. A lot of big guys in every gap, taking away the run. That's probably why they look to the sideline, change the play to a pass play. Unfortunately, aren't able to get open, but they get to 4th and 1.
Look at that front again, and Lavatai, the sophomore, looks over for the answer. Go for it about 3 or 4 times per game on 4th down. Or they try to draw you offside, as they do here.
First time out of the half. Navy.
And we'll take the timeout before 4th and 1. Exciting, a little bit of controversy yesterday, but back at it with a full days of action at the Breeders' Cup, including tonight. Over $6 million on the line. The World Championship of Horse Racing, the Breeders' Cup Classic, comes your way on NBC. Streaming on Peacock, Maria Taylor will join us live from Del Mar coming up at halftime for a look ahead to the Classic. Notre Dame facing 4th and 1 on defense. Navy comes out with a look to go for it one more time. And Lavatai will hand, and on the give, a push for Ruas. And Isaac, the fullback, will get a first down at the 43-yard line. So 1 of 1 on 4th down attempts, and that's the game's first down.
Watch the right side of this line. Low pad level, flat backs. Just try to neutralize your defender. Push just enough to get the first down.
Irish have had the ball twice. Navy's second possession. The game's first down. Lavatai on the pitch. They bring it around the edge of the space for Jaden Umbarger. Inside the 30 into the 25-yard line. Put the football on the ground, but it was ruled down by contact at the 25. And a big gain of 31 yards for the sophomore from Baltimore, Maryland, and an injured Notre Dame player at the end.
Navy is going to have to be successful on some of these trick plays, misdirection plays in this game. Nice play design here. The key to this really is getting that defender on the backside who would otherwise be responsible for this reverse to get what they call dirty eyes. His eyes in the wrong place, lose track of where the ball is. That allows the receiver to come around and make the big play.
And the injured Irish players, the senior from Milpitas, California, Tariq Bracey, 28, who you see there, who's now getting up as Rob Hunt and the athletic training staff bring him over. He was grabbing at and flexing that left arm. Bracey figured to see more time today at the corner for the Irish as opposed to Cam Hart. One of the reasons, Drew, you would guess Hart, a converted wide receiver who hasn't been a defensive back as long. This is a game where your corners have to tackle.
They absolutely have to. In many cases, the triple option is designed to get a free man, most likely the pitch man, out of the perimeter, and the only way to get him down is if the corner can beat the receiver and go make the tackle. It's one of the designs of the triple option, and definitely a role that these corners play. And Navy could potentially throw it at times too, so you do have to respect that.
You saw Hart, number 5 in the game. It's a first down for Navy. First snap of this game on the opponent's side of midfield. Ross is the fullback. Lavatai following inside behind his guard will gain 4. Marking for 3 to the 22-yard line. It's a quarterback shuffle early on in the season. Look, if you've watched Navy over the years, when they have a great quarterback, that's when this offense is so dynamic and so difficult. Trying to settle on Lavatai, who at 6'2", has some good size, to take that pounding. That's his backup, Xavier Arline. He's 5'9".
Yeah, there's a toughness and leadership element that always comes with playing the quarterback position, but especially at the Naval Academy. The amount that you're needing to communicate, the amount that you run the football.
Lavataille gives inside. Ruas for 2 yards. Glad he went toughness before leadership with the quarterback position. Just a reminder to all of us of what you guys are truly all about in your core.
That's exactly right. And speaking of tough.
Yeah, that's right.
How about the fullbacks in this offense? What I love is watch that mesh point. The fullback on every play does not know if he's getting the ball. So he's in a position where he's giving the quarterback a pocket. The quarterback puts the ball in there. Now the quarterback may pull it. So you're waiting until you get pressure against your stomach with the ball before you actually wrap that ball.
All of those offensive lineman chit-chat stuff. Timeout here for Navy. So they've taken 2 now here and only 1 with 6:08 to go till the half. We're heading over to the holiday season, right? So you have visitors coming in. Who's been the most common visitor here? Well, the Spartans of Michigan State have played the Irish overall 79 times. Boilermakers, 87. Purdue, Michigan State playing right now, all tied at 7. Southern California Trojans, that traditional rivalry. But nothing tops Navy for Notre Dame opponents. 94 times. They didn't play last year. This game, this matchup, over the years, has never been played in Annapolis. And when things were moving around with COVID, we weren't sure what was going to happen where. The plan was to play this game in Annapolis. However, Notre Dame then jumped in with the ACC. It didn't fit in the scheduling, so the game not played at the Naval Academy. Next year's meeting will be in Baltimore. So often it's at NFL stadiums when it would be Navy's home game. We talked about next year when, instead of South Bend, Dublin, Ireland will be the location for this one.
Such a meaningful matchup for both these teams and both these institutions. Every time they step on the field, it just feels like it's another level.
3rd and 5. Navy does have a good field goal kicker, but they're also in 4-down territory. Coach was over on the field there for a second. Finally, the play is run, and it's Lavataille keeping very close to that 1st down at the 15-yard line.
Here, watch Niumatalolo here. He's running down. He's on the field.
Where's the get-back coach?
Yeah, gets off the field just in time.
Keeper on 4th down, and Lavataille gets over the line easily to get it close to the 14-yard line. And this is what a typical Navy drive looks like.
You possess the ball, run as many plays as you possibly can, keep the opposing offense off the field, try to wear down this Notre Dame front. I'm really impressed with a couple of these goal line fronts that Notre Dame has come out in to defend the 4th and 1, and Navy has had 2 consecutive tries at it in a row here.
And you can always hear the clock tick, 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 tick. Navy taking their time. Goes down to the 14. Lavataille going to drop back to throw and gets sacked by Kurt Hinish. So the graduate student from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 2nd sack of the year, 7.5 sacks on his career.
Watch Hinish here, right here over the center. Just beats him, rips through that armbar. Hinish doesn't have a chance for many sacks, so he's going to take advantage of everyone he can get. If you're Navy here, you really like to try to get this ball out of your hands to avoid the long yardage situations. This offense is not one to overcome the 2nd and longs, the 3rd and longs.
That's his mom, Tawny. They drive from Pittsburgh every weekend. Pressure on again. And Lavataille is sacked this time by Jordan Botello, who had a sack last week against North Carolina. Rare you get sack opportunities against Navy, and back-to-back plays the Irish cash in.
Yeah, watch here. You know, you're asking a slot back to basically block who is an outside linebacker, what Notre Dame calls the Viper position. So really a pass rusher. That's really an unfair matchup, and Navy pays for it.
That will conclude drop-back pass attempts for the Naval Academy for a while.
Yeah, it will. I mean, they were at the 15-yard line. Now they're at the 30-yard line. So you've really put yourself in a tough spot. I don't think you want to try to, your percentages of making a field goal from here are slim. So try to get as much yardage as you can.
They're going to take their final timeout here. Timeout, Navy.
Momentum. And And there's no off season. It's work that builds on itself over and over and over again. Because the only way is through.
Well, back-to-back sacks. Catherine, the first one by Kurt Heinisch. Guy's been here for a long time.
Yeah, he has 57 career games. That extends his record for most in Notre Dame history. And you talk about that drive his family makes from Pittsburgh to South Bend every morning. Well, Tawny told us this morning she got up at 4:30 a.m. to make Kurt his favorite pasta sauce because that's all he wants after the game today. I spoke to Dad Kurt. He has battled cancer over the last few years. He said, I'm proud of my son Kurt, but I always tell him he shouldn't be congratulated for doing the right thing. That's what you're supposed to do. And this is a hard-working, blue-collar family. Kurt told me my dad was a construction worker. He poured concrete. I know how to work hard, and we're seeing that today, Mike.
All-time Western Pennsylvania football family. Catherine talks to the Heinisches almost every week. And Kurt steps in with a big play there on that drive. False start. It'll be 3rd and 30 for Navy.
False start. Offense. The left guard. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
So, how do you salvage this drive? You try to get yourself into a reasonable field goal range here. You're not a pass offense. At the same time, if you can get 7 or 8 yards here just to get yourself a little bit closer, that's what Navy needs to do.
And Bijan Nichols is a good kicker. He's made a 50-yarder this year. So even gaining a few yards, negligible wind, legitimate field goal attempt coming. So 3rd and 30, they'll try to get some, and they'll get 3 yards. On the run inside with James Harris, the senior from Mobile, Alabama. Jason Ademi-Lola with the tackle. The Irish are going to dominate inside there, and Marcus Freeman knows he's got a big advantage with the nose tackle and the defensive tackles here. Because Cincinnati and Navy are in the same conference, he has played Navy a couple of times, has a real good sense of what they do. We'll tell you the story later. 2017, they handed Cincinnati a really tough-to-take loss, but they have bounced back since. 49-yarder for Nichols, junior from Heath, Texas. And long enough and good. As good a kicker as Navy's had in quite some time. Bijan Nichols, 1 from over 50 this year, his 2nd from over 40, and the first points of the game to the midshipmen of Navy. 3-0 in the blue skies in South Bend. North Carolina was here last week. Today at home against undefeated Wake Forest. Down 45-27 in a game with a basketball-type score. Matt Brown's team went on a 31-3 run, including Ty Chandler, who had over 200 yards, 4 rushing touchdowns. North Carolina knocks Wake Forest in the ranks of the unbeaten, 58-55. The final score of that one. The teams combined for 1,161 yards and 66 first downs. Crazy. Crazy game. You want to be a defensive coordinator right now? Well, pop-up kick here. It's going to bounce and handled easily by the Irish and taken to the 30-yard line. That's Salerno, who is also the punt returner over there to grab it. Time now for Top Performance, brought to you by Mercedes EQ. Let's take you back 14 years, November 2007. Navy and Notre Dame. Reggie Campbell's touchdown reception. Irish going to score from Travis Thomas, but the 2-point conversion that they needed to go on was stopped, and stopped was the operative word of the 07 game. The 43-game losing streak for Navy. Paul Johnson's team got the win, and one that they talk about still to this day in Annapolis. Kyron Williams, the carry on first down for Notre Dame to the 35-yard line. He gains 5. We're keeping a clock on it up here in the booth. Drew, the Notre Dame offense hasn't been on the field for 22 minutes because Notre Dame puts you in the deep freeze very easily.
Yeah, they've had 2 3-and-outs, so really on this drive, you really want to get something going here. Your defense has been on the field a lot, but offensively you need to find a rhythm. I think Notre Dame's ability to run the football just with their heavy personnel groups in this game is going to be very important.
Haven't seen Tyler Buckner yet at quarterback for the Irish. Bouncing out of that hole that seemed to be closed was Williams, who gets Notre Dame's first down. Again, doing it after contact, gaining yards to the 44.
Another thing this Navy defense is going to do is they're going to be bringing lots of pressure. Move the front, free safety pressure there. He's unblocked. Kyron Williams able to step out of that shoestring tackle and go get the first down. It's a good way to get this drive started for Notre Dame.
Bone to throw, downfield, it's caught, and It's a freshman, Dion Colsey, into Navy territory at the 25. Longest catch for the freshman from McDonough, Georgia.
Quick little play-action fake from Jack Cohn, but just watch the anticipation of how he lays the ball out there for Colsey. Really nice throw.
Irish jumping into tempo, going quick, short pass. Michael Mayer, loss of 2, as Mayer gets chopped down by John Marshall.
Like the tempo that Notre Dame's operating at on offense now. This has really been the hallmark of their success over the last few weeks. One thing I think they really need to do today is get Michael Mayer more involved in this offense. Last couple games, not a lot of targets, not a lot of catches, but he's a guy who really presents a matchup problem today.
Second 11, blitz is picked up. Cohn throwing to the end zone for Colsey. A lot of contact, incomplete. It'll be 3rd down. It's Michael McMorris. We highlighted him with the starting lineups, their best corner.
You're going to keep seeing a lot of pressure from Navy today. They have to find a way to disrupt the pocket with Jack Cohn. It's either going to be full blitz or just bringing these safeties, bringing these corners, trying to disrupt his timing. See the pre-snap look here. These low safeties.
3rd and 11. Cohn gets rid of it. Williams. Oh, he gets chopped on, almost in a somersault, back onto his feet. He'll be short of the 1st down. Rayon Lane.
He's Gumby-like qualities, but, you know, all mugged up, the defense, and then they drop out. Again, very problematic for a quarterback. Unbelievable athleticism here by Kyron Williams. But problematic for a quarterback when the defense is walked up and you feel like it looked like just like this. It feels like cover 0. It feels like full blitz. You feel like, man, I've got to get the ball out. And then the snap, sometimes they bail, and you immediately have to go into a more patient mode.
4th and 4, man free coming, and he gets him. It's Marshall who made the big hit earlier. The disguise and the different looks from the defensive coordinator, Brian Newberry, dialed the right one up there, and the Irish are denied.
This is exactly what we just said. They're going to walk him up, they're going to bring him, or they're going to walk him up and drop him out. This time they bring him, and you have to know, here is my free rusher. So I have to get the ball out, or I know I'm going to have to make that guy miss. They looked like they were trying to set up a screen to the left. Defensive end might have had his hands in the way. That's why Jack Cohn pulled it down. But regardless, Navy gets off the field. Really nice job by that Navy defense right there.
Throws great shots. The midshipmen up there who've made the trip from Annapolis, enjoying the success. So the Irish are stopped. Possession 3 for Navy at the back end of the quarter. On the pitch, it's Carlinos Acey, who will spin and turn and get 3, and that should bring us to the end of this 1st quarter. Kenny Amantalolo used all his timeouts. Team had a good drive there, and they'll get 3 points. Out of this 1st quarter. After 1 here in South Bend, it's Navy 3, Notre Dame nothing. Back with you from Notre Dame Stadium after these messages for your local NBC station. Glad you're with us for the 94th renewal of Navy Notre Dame and Notre Dame football, presented by Gillette. Is brought to you by Geico. Mike Tirico, Drew Brees, Catherine Tappan with you. Jack Collinsworth, Corey Robinson, Golden Tate. Irish legend joining us pregame and halftime. For the postgame over on Peacock. 3-0 Navy leads. That's the 1st quarter Notre Dame's been shut out in the last 11, going back to the opening frame in Blacksburg against the Hokies. 2nd and 7 to begin the quarter for Navy. And Ty Lavata, the sophomore quarterback. An inside give to Isaac Ross, the fullback. Navy had 3 first downs in that 1st half and ran it 15 of their 16 plays. That's typically what they do. This is what they love to leave themselves, 3rd and 3 or 3rd and 4. Already converted 1 4th down from their half of midfield. Lavatai keeps trying to pitch to the slot back, but fumbled the football. Lavatai tried to get back on it as he was battling with Justin Ademilola. He got it, 4th down.
Yeah, it looks like the ball just slipped out of his hands when he went to pitch it. Maybe he lost Chance Warren there for a moment, tried to pull the ball back. Regardless, lucky to get it back.
J.D. Bertrand almost had it for the Irish. Squirted through his right arm, and Lavatai fell back on it. So Riley Reithman on for the 2nd time to punt. And Kyron Williams back to receive. Always got to be aware with Navy. They will throw fakes in here often. Irish nearly get there. Good kick by Reithman. 47 yards. A fair punt by Kyron Williams at 19. Has he had a couple of weeks to remember. He had 600-yard rushing games last year. Offensive line wasn't really going this year, but like a pinball, he bounces off people and keeps going. 78% of his rush yards after contact, 3rd in the FBS. And to add to that, more perspective, in a per-carry basis, 5 yards after contact per rush in these last 3 games. And in the pinball wizardry again here today.
He's got some Gumby qualities, Mike.
No doubt.
We saw his leg bend in a really weird direction last week. Thought he might be out for the year. Comes back and takes 191 yards down the sideline for a touchdown.
2-yard little pop pass to Avery Davis there. Catherine, you have more on Kyron?
Well, yeah, his teammates love him. We know that. Michael Mayer told me Kyron Williams brings his energy up. He said, I come to the field a more introverted, quiet demeanor. Kyron's definitely loud and extroverted. He brings my energy up and gets it exactly where it needs to be. When I make a mistake, Kyron's right there to score some points and make up for it, Mike.
Here he is on the run to the right, Catherine, and he will get the 1st down again after contact out to the 32-yard line. We saw him as we entered the Notre Dame football facility on Friday for our meetings. I mean, he is just so energetic and smiling and fun. And he wanted to chat. Wait, Kyron, we have meetings and film to go watch here, but he's just chatting away. Love the kid. Wonderful to be around. Cohen's throw is deflected. Good job by the Navy defense to get a hand up. And the pass incomplete.
I was going to say, I love everything about him. There are guys I can think of in my career that in the locker room, and it's funny because a lot of them are running backs. I don't know what it is with being a running back, but you talk about providing the energy and the juice, right? Tough training camp day. Those are the guys who are always pulling you through.
Cohen pressured again, gets it out to Kevin Austin to the 37-yard line. And Drew, you really see Tommy Rees trying to find a way to get this offense in a rhythm with his play calling on this 4th drive.
Yes, he is. Certainly get the ball in Kyron Williams' hands as much as you can. Allow the offensive line to continue to lean on this defensive front from Navy. They're going to try to move the front. They're going to try to bring pressure, and yet if you can just run behind those big guys up front, it tends to neutralize.
Third and 5 going from Mayer. Michael's got it for the 1st down into Navy territory to the 49-yard line. Mayer getting a little fired up like his teammate Kyron Williams. Gain of 14.
This is another element to this offense that Notre Dame really needs to exploit. Michael Mayer is such a great matchup inside. There is no safety or linebacker in this game that can cover this guy. Even in zone, he's going to find windows. He's just got such great feel.
Good pick up of the pressure by Tyree. Shot for Austin. With late hands, he brings it in. Inside the 10-yard line. Kevin Austin down the sideline. Mark him at the 11 officially.
Let's watch this. Let's see if he was able to get 1 foot down. Catch. Certainly looks like he was able to do that.
It's kept his hands extended. Irish on the run. Cone flips it out to Mayer with downfield blocking. Mayer propels himself to the 5-yard line. We have a penalty marker down. Maybe that blocking was illegal.
Illegal block in the back. Number 0 in the offense. 10 yards. The spot of the foul. 1st down.
Braden Lindsay gazing up at the board, waiting for the replay. See, was I really in the wrong there? Terry McCauley watching back with us in our studio, shakes his head. Was the correct call? Here's a peek at it. Well, here's a peek at the deep ball to Austin first.
I was going to say, we weren't able to talk about what a great catch this was because Notre Dame was so fast up to the ball, but really great job by Kevin Austin there.
So backed up to the 20, and the run for a yard. With Williams will set up second and long. And check that. Yes, is that? Let's see. Tyree? Yeah, it is Chris Tyree there. I beg your pardon.
You know, another thing, just amazed at the roles that a lot of these offensive players for Notre Dame have played this year. You know, if you said who has been their big play threat, Kevin Austin. These short side or boundary throws where Jack Cohn has just laid it up. Some of them have been back shoulders, some over the shoulder. Kevin Austin has been their big play guy this year.
2 tight ends, and the Irish empty the backfield. 5 options for Cohn. For the 19, it's Tyree. Out of bounds near the 10. Chris Tyree coming back. Really hasn't seen scrimmage snaps the last 2 games, dealing with turf toe. 3rd and about 9 coming up.
So watch Kevin Austin here. Speaking of big play threats, they basically run 4 verticals. Kevin Austin running wide open up the seam. Look at it here. Your key in the free safety right there. You see him drive over there to Mayer. That's when you would love as a quarterback, bring your eyes back to the inside seam. But he finds the check down, positive play.
Williams the back, 3rd and 9. Cohn's got time. He'll take Williams out of the backfield. Got away from Diego Fagot, but had more Navy players coming. Tackled by John Marshall, and the Irish will go for the game-tying field goal.
One of the toughest things in the red zone is when a team is going to play drop 8. They're only going to rush 3. Look at all these defenders as they drop that are just sitting in the end zone. You know, tell me where the windows are to complete a ball on 3rd and 9. There's none. So you're forced to check it down, rally up, make the tackle. Again, really good scheme being deployed by this Notre Dame defense this Navy defense right now.
So the penalty hurt the Irish. Jonathan Dorr is on for a game-tying 24-yarder. Jay Bramlett hold. The snap was a little high, but he brought it down. And the game is tied. 7 of 8 for Cohn on the drive. Notre Dame answers Navy's first quarter field goal with one of their own. All squared at 3 in the second. Great day to enjoy this Notre Dame campus. Look at the north end of the stadium. Word of Life mural on the Hesburgh Library. It's commonly referred to as Touchdown Jesus. And everybody who comes and visits wants to get their picture over at that end. Stadium opened in 1930. And some of the brigade of midshipmen making the trip by bus from Annapolis here. A little bit of happiness and freedom for them. Chance to get out, enjoy a day a little bit. This will be a touchback. And Navy will take over at its own 25-yard line. So when you paint the portrait of how Notre Dame would be upset by Navy, it's first 20 minutes of the game exactly like we just saw.
It is. They're confusing Notre Dame's offense with a lot of these different looks, pressure looks, attempted pressure, drop 8, and just causing confusion. They've been good enough against the run, but they've just come up with plays when they've needed to.
It reminds me a little bit of that Navy game against Cincinnati a couple of weeks ago. When your offense doesn't get in an early rhythm against Navy, you can feel the frustration build on the offensive side.
Yes, and you feel like this is a game where you've been told all week, guys, we're not going to get that many possessions because of what their offense does, running the triple option, possessing the ball. So this angst sets in. You feel like you have to maximize each drive.
Fullback give for about 3 yards that time. Anton Hall getting his opportunity to play. Rare snap for Hall, and he gains a couple. And Marcus Freeman, we started to tell the story earlier. Marcus Freeman, deep knowledge of this Navy team from his years as the defensive coordinator at Cincinnati, the 4 before becoming the defensive coordinator here at Notre Dame. Carry for Ruas. The fullback goes to the 32 line. You know, Freeman had, he and Luke Fickle really got beat down by Navy in their first matchup.
Watch the left side of the line. You talk about pushing defensive tackles back. That's what makes that fullback dive play work so well. Those double teams, putting that defensive tackle on roller skates, as we like to say, pushing him back, creating a lane to just be able to go and get 5 yards. If they can do that, they will do it all game long.
3rd and 4. We try him again. This time the Irish stand tall on the inside. Jacob Lacey and Howard Cross in the middle. keep it at 4th and 4, and a little more difficult to go from your own 31 in a tie game.
Yeah, watch this offensive line. You usually say as a defense, hey, feel the weight on the front, on their knuckles. If their knuckles are white, they're running the ball well. Their knuckles are white every play because they're running the ball every play. And it's smash mouth football. It's these one-on-one blocks or double teams where, as a defensive lineman, you have to think to yourself, I have to beat my blocker. I have to take up as many blockers as possible in order for us to make the tackle.
Reithman gets it away. Another good kick. It's almost 50 yards. Took Williams back to the 18. And Williams out of a tackle to the sideline. Cuts back to the inside. And folks are waiting for him over there. He'll get close to the 35-yard line. But a nice return by Kyron Williams gives the Irish above average field position midway through the second. Terry Bradshaw, legendary quarterback. But who calls the plays at home? Terry takes the field with his wife Tammy and their 3 daughters. It is the Bradshaw Bunch. It's worth a laugh or 2 or 100. Wednesdays at 9, only on E. One of a kind. One of a kind.
Absolutely.
Irish will take over. Second best field position. The opening drive was at the 35 because of a kickoff out of bounds. This one at the 34.
Thanks.
Cone got on a roll the last drive.
Looks like a run play.
You think it? Yeah. Cone. Well covered as Williams. Somehow he got it to him. Only for a gain of a yard. John Marshall's been very active. He was right there and waiting. We talked about Brian Newberry a little bit. Defensive coordinator, his 3rd year. He came up from the FCS from Kennesaw State. Took that team to the quarterfinals. Saw triple option every day when he was there, and has really done a good job with Navy. So there you see Tyler Buckner, a freshman from San Diego, in the game for the Irish for the first time today. And Buckner will flip. And Logan Diggs, the freshman running back, will take it to the 40-yard line, set up 3rd and 4.
It's really interesting to see if the Navy defensive scheme or mindset changes now with Tyler Buckner in the game. It's been problematic in the passing game when Jack Cohn's been in there. Now with Tyler Buckner, more of a run threat. Here we are in 3rd down, though. You got to think this is a passing situation, but the RPOs have also been good in this situation with Tyler Buckner at quarterback for Notre Dame.
3rd down hasn't been a good down today for the offenses. Good for the defenses. Teams have combined for 1 of 11 on 3rd down. Buckner pulls it, fakes the throw to Mayer, gets the first down with his legs to the 47-yard line.
This is what makes Tyler Buckner so dangerous. It's really Notre Dame's version of the triple option. Here he is. He can hand it to Logan Diggs. He pulls it. Now his next option is to throw it to Michael Mayer. When that's not there, he's going to take off and run and still get the first down. So 3 options. It's Notre Dame's triple option.
Very good. I like it. They're coming down to block. Buckner gives on the inside. Diggs try to get through. He got 5 yards. He was a couple of steps from taking that a little bit farther. John Marshall one more time. The junior from Highland, Maryland. Right in the middle of it.
We talk so much about Kyron Williams, but how about the job Logan Diggs has done when he's come in the game these last couple weeks? Brings a physical presence. Really kind of the hammer whenever he comes in the game.
Diggs didn't play until the Virginia Tech game. Played 55 snaps the last 3. 4 in a row here, and he was a yard away from taking that. And these 2 freshmen in the backfield have done a nice job, and now Kyron Williams will come in.
Yeah, here's this Tyler Buckner factor. Look at what he does to the edge of the line here. These rushers really can't fully buy into the fact that the running back has the ball because Buckner can pull this thing and get on the edge, which is problematic for them at any moment. So Buckner in the game brings this run game to a whole nother level.
It's out of 5 minutes, the typical fast-moving half in a Navy game. Buckner pulls it, chased by Diego Fagot, and he got there for the first down. Fagot is an outstanding linebacker, top tackler for his 3rd year. Had a lot of offers from other schools above the academies in terms of their football profile. but Buckner got past him there.
This is tough here. Notre Dame or Navy executes this perfectly. Diego Fagot is in a position one-on-one with Tyler Buckner in space, but Buckner beats him to the edge, gets the first down.
All 5 Buckner snaps have been runs. They bring pressure as he throws with a flag down. Incomplete. Miscommunication with Kevin Austin, the receiver, and the quarterback Buckner. We'll check the flag. On Navy.
Offside. Lined up in the neutral zone. Number 51. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Nicholas Straw from Lebanon, Ohio. Hanging in the neutral zone there. He's a junior. A bunch of sophomores in this Navy team. It's a very young team. They played a few freshmen, some injuries, but also some guys who did not play, getting their first experience. So this is part of the growth of this Navy defense this year. 1st and 5, Buckner, the late decision to toss. Diggs accelerates out of bounds, first down, late hit flag will add 15 to that. They'll take the Irish into the red zone. Rayon Lane, the freshman, step too late.
After the play was over, personal foul, late hit, number 18 of the defense, 15 yards from the end of the run, automatic, first down.
They had 2 penalties in a row, lining up offsides, late hit out of bounds. There's certain things that happen during the course of the game that you say, hey, that's just part of the game, but some of those unforced errors, very unlike this Navy defense, and obviously something they're gonna need to be as sharp as they can possibly be, especially against this big physical Notre Dame defense or offense.
From the 15, Buckner the toss, Williams on the edge, dancing, trying to cut it back inside. It'll be down at the 11. Being a 4 for Kyron. You said the Navy defense, Navy in general, usually, as you would expect, one of the most disciplined teams in college football. Their penalty average 7th in terms of yards given up, 10th in terms of fewest flags, 4.5 a game. Navy does not make those mistakes. This has been a Buckner drive, and since it took over, the Irish have moved down the field here at the 11. 2nd and 6, Williams, and a good surge by Jacob Busick, the sophomore from Westminster, Maryland, with a stop to set up 3rd down.
So how do you stop the read option? Well, you start really closing the end hard, and then you have somebody scraping over the top for the quarterback. Watch how Navy handles this. You've got the end coming down the line, ready to tackle the running back. If Buckner pulls it, you've got a defensive tackle, linebacker, safety, someone in that alley for the quarterback. Nice job by Navy.
Area of emphasis for the Irish this week. Finishing drives inside the 5, inside the 10. They're at the fringe here at the 12.
They're showing a full blitz cover 0 look. They end up bringing him.
Buckner to Austin. Couldn't get out of the tackle, but he's got the first down. Inside the 5, Willie Collins, the sophomore, with the touchdown-saving tackle. Irish will go quick here from the 1.
So watch, they bring everyone up front. You're one-on-one on the backside with Kevin Austin. Really nice job by Tyler Buckner finding his one-on-one.
First and goal, it is Williams inside, leading to the goal line and in for a Notre Dame touchdown.
Really nice job. Good finish by this Notre Dame offense. You hand the ball to one of your best players. And you know what? Navy's cover 0 again. They have 2 defensive players pinching from the outside, hitting Kyron at the 2-yard line. What does Kyron do? He does what he does every game. He just carries guys into the end zone. He breaks tackles, yards after first contact. But a really good job finishing that drive off by Notre Dame.
Well, they were running around because Notre Dame jumped the ball quick when they got to the 1-yard line. Jonathan Dorr adds the extra point. Notre Dame has 33 touchdowns this year. Kyron Williams has 11. 1/3 of their touchdowns. Junior's having a special season. He puts Notre Dame up for the first time today. 10-3. Today's images of the game brought to you by Mercedes EQ. Exactly the way you'd draw up a Saturday in South Bend with Notre Dame and Navy. Tyler Buckner enters this rivalry for the first time from a city with a great naval heritage and history, San Diego. And Tyler comes in there. He had 10 of those 11 plays. Not like Cohn was doing anything wrong. He had 7 straight completions, but what a difference to be able to get to that part of the menu and get on the board. The door kickoff is a touchback. Navy gets the ball back with 2:46 to go. When you come back.
You want to know how to beat this triple option? You win these matchups up front with the defensive line. Watch Adam Malola here, hitting the quarterback in the backfield. Kurt Heinisch, not known for his pass rushing prowess, but gets the sack. And then Jordan Patello on the edge here. That's just an unfair matchup. Slot back trying to block him in pass protection. Really nice job by this Notre Dame front. Applying the pressure, really pushing back this offensive line, allowing other guys to run around and make some tackles.
This Navy drive will start from the 25-yard line, and at the mesh point, it was messed up by Heinisch. He wouldn't let Harris get anywhere. Loss of a yard. Navy's run 22 plays, and they have 50 total yards.
Well, right on cue here, Mike. We were just giving Heinisch some love with his pass rush skills. Well, here he is firing out. You know, it almost looked like that was a goal line snap. I mean, literally, he's just thinking penetration, and then all of a sudden, you know what? Nobody blocked me. I'm gonna hit this fullback.
Navy is out of timeouts. I'd love to get a first down or two to kind of make this an end of the half situation. Lavatai is strung out, and Jack Kaiser comes down from the safety role he is playing today to stop the sophomore quarterback and set up third down. And there's an injury for Navy, and it is the man who is carrying the ball, Lavatai. And Xavier Arline, the 5'9" quarterback from Long Island, getting looked at. Lavatai was tied up, and he got hit hard. It's Kaiser, the initial hit. Drew White coming in. And the athletic training staff looks at the Navy starting quarterback. I hate seeing that. Ty Lavatai, who has played well for this Navy team in his 5 starts. He had a knee injury in game 1. He's walking up the northeast tunnel to the Navy locker room. Kaiser had him. White comes to finish him off. And Lavatai was really holding the left side, left shoulder area. So they go to assess the sophomore, and another sophomore from Long Island, Wading River, New York. Xavier Arline comes in. He started 5 games, including Air Force in Houston earlier this year. And he comes in for 3rd and 10. And he tries to run to the inside. He'll only gain a yard. And it'll bring up 4th down. Isaiah Foskey, the tackle. The Irish going to take a quick time out here, try to preserve time for a drive with 2:02 in the second.
This defensive line is beginning to take over this game. Watch Kurt Heinisch again. They try to trap him with the offside guard. Heinisch was able to get past that block. Penetration now has been the key for Notre Dame. They're starting to get it. It's taken away the fullback dive. They're really starting to react fast. You feel like they've got a beat on this offense right now.
And they have early in the Navy matchup the last 3 times it was played. Not played last year. But if you go back to 2018 out in San Diego, the Irish shut out Navy in the first half. In here in 2019, Navy held to 3 points, and only 3 points here towards the end of the first half today. Williams stands at his own 35. Punt comes from the 25 for Riley Reithman. And then back it up even more. The wave making its way around Notre Dame Stadium. Indicative of the fans' interest in watching triple option football. They want to create some excitement as the play clock runs down.
Delay a game on the defense. Number 26 came in the neutral zone and caused number 20 to flinch. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
It's on Xavier Watts, so it's 4th and 5 instead of 4th and 10. Brian Polian's had to put a lot of different people on special teams. Brian is associate head coach of the Irish, handles the special teams as well. With a good punt. Williams going to let it go, and he'll go all the way down. This will help Navy give the Irish 95 yards to have to drive with 1:50 to go. big punt for Navy.
Yeah, so what has Navy done really well today on defense? When Jack Cohn's been the quarterback, you get these all-up looks, 7 rushers, but now they only rush 3. These guys aren't getting pressure on the quarterback, but there's nowhere to throw the ball, so it forces Jack Cohn to take off and run. Same thing here, 7 up. Now they're only rushing 4, but still, nowhere to throw the ball. Jack Cohn ends up having to check it down. They run up, make the tackle. Now you get all up, but you're bringing everyone. So you have 1 more than they can block. Jack Cohn not able to get the ball out of his hands. They're off the field on 4th down. So really nice job when Jack Cohn has been in the game of causing that confusion and getting off the field.
Start the drive with a run by Kyron Williams, who gets the first down right around the 15-yard line. Good run to give him space by Williams. By the way, the punt by Raythrough was 65 yards. Longest punt for Navy in 6 years. And a big one there to pin the Irish back.
Yeah, it was. You know, really as a punt returner, though, you've got to put yourself in position to catch the ball so you're not pinning yourself back like that.
3 down linemen from the 15. Irish run again with Williams. Will get another first down and almost 12 yards to the 27-yard line inside of 100 seconds here to the half.
Yeah, you know, interesting. They're backed up, so they're going to run the ball. But, hey, you're in a 2-minute situation here. Notre Dame only 1 timeout. Clock's ticking, minute 33.
Now to throw. It's Cohn. 3-man rush. Flushes him. He throws it to the bench. And incomplete. Chance to remind you, State Farm halftime report. Good to have Golden Tate with us. He would not have let that punt bounce. Golden Tate taking his hands and move. Golden will join Jack Collinsworth and Corey Robinson. Ohio State survives a scare. Michigan State losing right now to Purdue. And as mentioned before, Maria Taylor will join us live from California at the Breeders' Cup Classic tonight.
Yeah, again, drop 8. I was just about to say, if Jack Cohn cannot find a place to throw this ball, find Kyron Williams, get him the ball in space, allow him to go make something happen. Your 3rd medium here, clock's ticking, that's okay. Take your time, get a good play, get the first down, the clock will stop and keep this drive going.
Remember, Navy gets the ball to start the second half. They are out of timeouts. Irish trying to convert on 3rd and 7, and Cohn fires to Austin. Is done. Kevin Austin will take it the distance. Notre Dame touchdown. Austin's 5th of the year, and Drew was so great at 2-minute drills, and he talked about being patient, not being in panic mode there, and they were, and it was very beneficial as they got Austin, who took off to the races. Jonathan Dorr for the extra point. 17-3 Notre Dame. They've scored on 3 consecutive drives.
Yeah, let's go back to the touchdown here. They caught Navy in a little bit of a disguise here. Watch this free safety, okay? He's responsible for the deep half. Look at Jack Cohn's eyes here. He's right there. Looking at Michael Mayer, that holds the safety just for a moment so he can throw it in the hole to Kevin Austin. Really nice job by Jack Cohn, just holding the safety enough. Corner's not responsible for him. He's a cloud corner. Safety's job to get over there. He's not able to because Jack Cohn holds him just enough. Flips his shoulders over there. Fires it to Kevin Austin. That was one of my favorite plays in 2-minute drill, by the way, Mike. All goes special. 4 verticals. You felt like there was always a place where you could get a completion, and it gave you big play opportunities because everyone was running vertical in a 2-minute type situation.
And 70 yards for Austin and Cohn. That equals career longs for both of them in terms of the pass. And for Cohn, the touchdown pass. One last week against North Carolina, gets 1 here, gets his touchdown pass number up to 12 on the season. Maybe going to try to make something of this and bring it back from the 1-yard line. And the return will come shy of the 25. And Drew Brees' Christmas gift is all go special. But the key is what you talked about, what you did so often, that frees the safety with a shoulder shake. So show us that.
So much of where you go with all go special is the tight end running the middle of the field or the number 2 seam onto the field. What you'll find over time is that backside safety starts cheating. So you feel like, you know what, if I hold my eyes here long enough, I can flip my shoulders and throw in the hole to the X receiver, the short side boundary receiver, just like he did there. That was textbook.
That's why all go special.
That's why it always works. There's always a place where you can find a big play and they can't stop it.
Navy out of timeouts and 44 seconds left, and now to their backup quarterback with Xavier Arline playing. And give inside. The run for Isaac Ruas takes it to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, so watch Jack Cohn's eyes here. His eyes are frontal. Now he peeks over there, right? I love it. But then finds the safety, knows he's not in great position to cover this whole shot. Sure enough, he gets it before he can get there. Just great execution all the way around, but also a command of the play by Jack Cohn.
Play clock has not started. That's a mistake. Game clock continues to run. Arline will take it. He'll be brought down by Nana Osafo-Mensah, and that will bring us to halftime. At the break, Notre Dame 17, Navy 3. State Farm halftime report. Golden Tate with Corey Robinson and Jack Collinsworth after these messages for your local station. You're watching Notre Dame football, presented by Gillette.
You're watching Notre Dame football, presented by Gillette.
The Irish 30 minutes from getting to 8-1. Our first half stats are brought to you by Gillette. Navy has no passing yards again. They didn't complete a pass at all last week. Time of possession is relatively even for a game against Navy. That is advantage to the Naval Academy opponents. Notre Dame dominating the game. Look at this. No completions last week. None in the first half. Got to go back to late fourth quarter against Cincinnati. 7 quarters since their last completion for Ken Niumatalolo's team. Obviously, they do it through the running and the triple option. But every once in a while, a pass mixed in makes a difference, and they just are getting nothing out of that part of the game right now.
That does, and their passes have been short ones. I'm kind of waiting for them to throw one up to one of their bigger receivers, maybe Michael Cooper.
Return here from Mikael Hayward. He'll be stopped at the 25-yard line, and we'll go down to Catherine.
Well, Mike, of course, major concern for Navy starting quarterback Ty Lavatai with that injury to end the first half. I just spoke to Ken Niumatalolo. He told me he likely won't be back in this game. He's out with an undisclosed injury. That means we will see Xavier Arline as the backup quarterback starting here in the second half. Meanwhile, Brian Kelly said Tyler Buckner had a great scoring drive in the Notre Dame first half. He said, we're going to use him when we can, but we have to expect cover 0 when he comes in, which means Notre Dame is going to have to throw the football. Kelly said they would like the option to run it, which we know is a very important element of Buckner's game, Mike.
Yeah, Buckner did a good job running the football and setting up those other runs for Kyron Williams and Logan Diggs where those drives got started. So it's Xavier Arline for Navy as the starting quarterback in the second half. He'll hand it off to Isaac Ruas, who will gain 2 yards to the 27-yard line. We told you Xavier was a very good lacrosse player back in his days at Wading River in Suffolk County on Long Island. The sophomore has 5 total starts. As a matter of fact, going into this season, in spring, he was the number 1. And there he was playing for Shoreham Wading River, one of the good lacrosse teams out in Suffolk County, as an attack man. Jack Cohn played lacrosse, Tyler Buckner. I mean, everybody's playing lacrosse these days.
It's the new crossover sport. It crosses over to everything. It's probably my favorite sport for youth right now.
Really?
Yeah, we might need to bust out the lacrosse stick here in the broadcast booth, Mike.
Second down and 8, the flag here as they took too much time. We talk about
delay a game. Offense, number 7. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
The guy thinks I've got Gary Gate here, a lacrosse great. All right, so what's the connection between football and lacrosse?
Well, first off, I never played lacrosse growing up, but I wish I would have. I'm trying to get my kids to play it. But there's so many carryovers between throwing a football and throwing a lacrosse ball. You get into the same throwing motion. Your hips and your shoulders are working together the exact same way. And look at where your arms are. If I literally drop this stick and put a football in my hands, I'm literally delivering the ball the exact same way. So the whole kinematic sequence is exactly the same.
Changing training for future quarterbacks.
There you go.
Right here. 2nd and 13. Arline with the late pitch and a good one. Chance Warren on the edge. Warren's got a first down. Out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Jack Kaiser over there along with Tariq Bracy, who's back in the game with the tackle.
You like the way he extends that option play as far as he possibly can. That late pitch is what allows that lane down on the sideline for Chance Warren. They're going to need some big plays in this half, Mike.
Through that gain of 18, the longest since the 32-yard play. It was a run for the receiver, Jaden Umbarger, in the first half. From the 40, one more edge with the option. This time it's Carlinos Acey, and he's right around midfield. Looks like he's just shy of the first down for Acey, the senior from McKeesport, Pennsylvania. So a little more getting it to the edge with the option pitch here in this third quarter.
And they've changed it up. You know, a lot of this triple option thus far has been fake the dive or give the dive. That's really been getting blown up by Kurt Heinisch inside. So now let's go ahead and just swing the fullback out and use him as a lead blocker, extend this play as far as we can, and they're getting some chunks out of it.
2nd and 1, and Ruas will gain the first down with the dive into Notre Dame territory. Again, Niamatalolo, we were talking on the field yesterday as Navy did a walkthrough here about when you see different defenses. Navy's seen everything that you can do. So there's a Rolodex of things you can get to. So, okay, you're playing us this way, we'll get to that.
This is a great thing about the triple option. It's not that you're just calling a play and it's going to one person and you're going to run it against no matter what. It's you're reading defenders, and so you're putting them in a position where the defense can't be right. Well, if you choose this way, we're going to go that way. You choose there, we're going to go here. So it's always having an answer to what the defense is going to do.
Some different formations. They put 4 wide there. Arline thinking about throwing it downfield, and it is incomplete. A flag will be thrown. DJ Brown was trailing there, or Houston Griffith, excuse me, was trailing in coverage. The receiver didn't go down.
Defense, number 3, 15 yards in the previous spot, automatic, first down.
But he was interfered with.
And I'm not saying this just because they're down 14 points, but I don't see why Navy doesn't do this more often. You're getting so many one-on-one matchups down the field that you can throw the ball up and a lot of good things can happen. Your guy can catch it, or you get potential pass interference calls. This is a big chunk that Notre Dame's able, or that Navy's able to get. Obviously, it's not a spot foul, but at the same time, they're putting together a nice drive here, and you're seeing a totally different offense with Xavier Arline in the game.
So to the 33-yard line. The sophomore quarterback, the inside give for a good gain for Ruas. Isaac will take it inside the 25 to the 24-yard line. Ruas leads this team in rushing this year. Came in with 437. He's added 34 so far. He was a semifinalist for the Campbell Award. It's the academic Heisman. It's one of the great honors in college football. GPA 3.87 in quantum economics. Quite a young man. Anton Hall comes back in the game, played 1 snap in the first half, played 3 snaps the last 2 weeks for his first action for Navy. And Hall will be wrapped up. Watch the game there. Justin Ademilola for the Irish will set up 3rd down.
As you watch this camera angle here, Skycam, notice the splits of the Navy offensive linemen. Typically, their splits are a little bit wider than what you would normally see from offensive linemen. Why do they do that? They try to create space. Space is your friend in a triple option offense. Because you're constantly reading defenders, it gives you more time to be able to do it. Look how much space there is right here between guard and center, between guard and tackle.
They'll give it off this time to Ruas inside, using some of that space to get a first down at the 21-yard line.
So as you read those defenders, hey, we're reading the 3 technique or the defensive end as to whether we're going to give it to the fullback. If they close, now we're going to pull it and we're on the edge. Quarterback's now running it unless somebody takes him. Now he's going to pitch it. So creating that space is what puts a triple option offense in the best position to make the right decision, to give it to the right guy, to create the best matchup.
So we played 8 of this opening second half drive. Give was the wrong way. He turned left. Ruas was to his right. No option off of it, but Arline able to keep it in game. About 5.
Well, the pitch man was going left here, so looks like fullback should have gone left as well. Arline does a nice job of turning nothing into something.
Arline started the Army game last year for Navy. 3 starts last season. In addition to lacrosse, he played football and basketball on Suffolk County on Long Island. His football team won a couple of state championships, or Long Island championships, I should say. The lacrosse team was the state champs in 2019. A lot of good schools wanted him for lax. Down the line here, he's brought down by Jacob Lacey. Out of Bowling Green, Kentucky, Lacey taking care of his assignment will put Navy in 3rd and long.
Yeah, this just shows how important it is to win a one-on-one block up front, because the alley player has taken the pitch man, meaning that this is a keep look for Arline. If they're not able to get penetration up front, Arline probably has a big play. But because you're able to beat a one-on-one block up front, you're able to get the quarterback down.
So 3rd and 7, we mentioned they have a good field goal kicker, but they're going to take half the quarter pretty much with this opening drive. The Ruas inside and through the middle, holding on for the touchdown saving tackle was Kaiser, but it's 1st and goal for Navy at the 8-yard line.
So watch this play here. He's reading the 3 technique right here. 3 technique gets upfield. He hands the ball to the fullback. Nice block there up front, creating a little bit of penetration. And then Isaac Ruas does the rest. Nice job being able to hand off a fullback dive on 3rd and 8 and get a 1st down.
Absolutely. They ran for 54 yards in the first half, 57 on the ground on this drive. And they cap it off with a touchdown. Ruas to the 6-yard line to bring up 2nd and goal. This is the typical Navy drive, and the Notre Dame offense has been sitting around through 20 minutes at halftime, the band, and all that stuff, and now they're sitting here for another 15 minutes.
Yeah, they were feeling good about that 2-minute drive, long touchdown pass, except they haven't seen the field about 45 minutes here.
You gotta go out and warm up again pretty much here, you know. But then if Navy scores, then there's the pressure to limited possessions in the second half. If you don't score, you're going to give Navy a great chance to get back in this game.
And therein lies the strategy. But huge drive here as they're inside the 10-yard line. Getting 7 points here for Navy's critical.
Warren in motion. Arline keeps it inside. That's 4-yard line. Myron Tungavailoa Mosa was one of the players with the Irish, along with Kurt Heinisch, to make the stop. And here comes 3rd and goal.
Heinisch is making just about every play inside. As you watch this guy, he's beating one-on-one blocks. He's either doing it with power or he's doing it with technique. But this is his kind of game, isn't
Absolutely.
it?
3rd and goal.
I wouldn't want to block that guy.
Michael Cooper, number 3, comes out of the Navy huddle. He's a wide receiver, rarely gets the ball, has to block a lot.
You see this unbalanced set, and then there's Michael Cooper, the receiver, right there.
Ruas inside, denied. It'll be 4th and goal. Talk about unbalanced. Navy did that to Tulsa and gave the Golden Hurricanes fits.
They did it very effectively to Tulsa, but here's Michael Cooper. He's 6'5", 220 pounds. He's a big receiver, but he puts his hand in the dirt like he's a tight end. He's throwing the same blocks the offensive linemen are, trying to cut off backside. Such a selfless player, a guy that demands so much respect with his team. Named captain of captains at the Naval Academy.
Yeah, it's the captain of all the team captains at Navy. It's an incredible honor. Bijan Nichols from 21 yards. And he knocks it through. So they took almost 2/3 of the 3rd to get 3. 11-point game here in South Bend. Dame football is brought to you by Gillette, the best a man can get. By State Farm, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And by Under Armour, the only way is through. When this game ends, no matter where it's played, Notre Dame and Navy join together as each alma mater is played. They'll play Navy blue and gold, and the Irish players will stand shoulder to shoulder. And then when they play Notre Dame, our mother, and the Notre Dame players and Navy players will be next to each other, just like the fans. We've got one of the midshipmen in there with the Notre Dame student section. Spirit of the rivalry, the joy of this almost century-long connection of these two institutions. What a picture-perfect day for all of you, huh? Just looks beautiful out. A great sunset here in South Bend, and then get an extra hour of sleep tonight. Turn back the clocks. Drifting back to get this kickoff is Salerno for the Irish. Good return out to the 30-yard line. That's where the Notre Dame offense will get back on the field. They haven't been on the field in 40 minutes on the clock. They lead by 11. Championship Sunday, NASCAR tomorrow. It'll be in Phoenix. What a setting this is. 3 Eastern on NBC and Peacock. Through the scrub, over the mountain, the championship venue is revealed. There it is. It's either Kyle Larson, who's been unbelievable this year, the defending champ Chase Elliott. Does Denny Hamlin get his first, or Martin Truex his second? All decided tomorrow on NBC, 3 Eastern time. Our Notre Dame director, Charlie Danmeyer, heading out there to direct the broadcast. We will show you tomorrow. Kyron Williams steps out of a tackle, gets to the edge and gets 3 yards. Charlie is from Annapolis, Maryland. Great article in the paper about his opportunity to direct this game today. The Naval Academy, what a great city it is. It's a great town. Love the people there. I've had the chance to visit multiple times to see the yard, see the midshipmen, see the surroundings that set up one of the great institutions in our country, the Naval Academy. Pressure on Cone. Good late pickup by Williams. May have stopped a turnover because Cone was about to get blindsided. He is still sacked by Michael McMorris, his second on the season.
And they're going to take a shot here, Mike. You're going to see this post come wide open in the background, but they bring the corner pressure. You know, it's tough for a running back because you're trying to go through your play action fake, but you're going to have rules where, you know what, you're responsible for any corner or safety pressure as well. So nice job hitting it on the run by the corner, able to wrap up Jack Cone, prevent the big play from happening.
So can Navy follow the 10-minute drive with a 3-and-out, 3rd and 14 for Jack Cone? Rose, Williams, a lot of places to go, a lot of room to get out of the Fagot tackle. But the rest of the Navy defenders rally to the ball, and it will be 3-and-out for Notre Dame to start this second half.
Yeah, so this has been the theme when Jack Cone's in the game, especially third down situations. They're going to walk everyone up, make you feel like it's going to be full blitz, cover 0. You're going to have to get the ball out of your hands quick. Then at the snap, they drop out. You've got Diego Fagot as just kind of a spy. But you can see how that unsettles Jack Cone, not able to find anybody open. Starts getting happy feet, throws the check down. That's exactly what they want you to do. And now they're getting the ball back.
Third punt of the day for Jay Bramlett. Chance Warren back to get it. Good kick by Bramlett. Nice hang time, 50 yards and no return. Navy will take over at the 15. 3:24 till the break. Today's images of the game brought to you by Mercedes EQ. Irish and midshipmen. 17-6. Navy down, but got the ball.
Welcome back to Notre Dame Stadium. You're looking at wide receiver Michael Cooper for Navy, and we talked about him earlier being the captain of all captains at the Naval Academy. Well, his stepfather, John Arnold, served in the Army and suffered a debilitating injury while in combat in Iraq, resulting in the amputation of his leg. Cooper told me his stepfather never really talked about his time serving, but he showed through his actions how to be a competent man. Cooper said the best advice he's received from John is to fully commit to all that you do. Be all in, always learning, always educate yourself about the world, and be curious. Mike?
What an amazing young man. So many of the Navy players you can say about that, but everyone on the staff from Annapolis effusive in their praise of Cooper. Inside run, the Irish defensive tackles who are having a really good game inside. Howard Cross there to take care of that carry for no gain. So what Catherine was saying, that captain of captains, 33 sports, varsity sports at the Naval Academy. So all the captains are together, and there's one captain of all the captains. What a great idea. I wish more institutions would pay attention to what they do. It's great to get all your leaders together to share ideas on leadership, and that man is the captain of all the captains. Great idea, super individual to carry that title. 2nd and 10. Arline gave it off to Ruas one more time. He gains 3 yards. 3rd and 7. They're fighting for the ball down there on the bottom of the pile. No surprise who's down there for Notre Dame, huh? Jacob Lacey. Lacey, Cross, and Heinisch. That every time the fullback's involved, one of those 3 are waiting to hit him.
And you knew this was going to be their type of game.
Yep.
Those are the guys that play inside, over the center, over the 2 guards, and your job is just to basically fire out like it's a goal line snap pretty much every time, to blow up the fullback and in essence, to blow up the play.
One pass, it was incomplete. One pass attempt yielded a pass interference. Arline quick give that time, and only 2 yards for Ruas. So 3 runs, only gains 6 yards for Navy, and they'll have to punt the ball away.
Well, they love giving the ball to fullback, don't they?
Ruas has 17 carries here today. Williams had a 47-yard punt return, his career best against North Carolina. Well, Riley Reithman has had a very good kicking day. Line drive, tough to bring in here. Williams going to let it go, and he'll stop at the 33-yard line. 46-yard kick. Full game. Doesn't get many passes, but he's a pretty good wide receiver and a great leader. The story of Michael Cooper, part of the Navy football team. Rams and Titans met in the Super Bowl. Maybe they could meet this year. No Derrick Henry, of course, for the Titans. More on Ryan Tannehill, but Aaron Donald's got some company on the defensive line. We'll have Football Night in America 7 Eastern for you. And then Al, Chris, and Michelle from the site of the Super Bowl, SoFi Stadium. See Sunday Night Football and the Super Bowl on NBC. There's Ty Lavatai, the quarterback for Navy, the starter who was injured late in the 2nd quarter with that left arm in a sling. Irish quarterback Jack Cohn has played all the snaps of that 3 and out to start the 2nd half. Cohn protected, trying downfield, incomplete. Had to feather it into Michael Mayer, couldn't drop it in the bucket.
Yeah, it's been a quiet day for Mayer thus far. A couple short passes, but they try to get him down the field on this deep spear. Just missed it. But he is certainly a guy that, as this season progresses, you thought he would have gotten a lot more touches, a lot more targets. I know he's been banged up until the last few weeks, but still a guy you want to get the ball to.
Cohn throwing, and the catch made for the first down by Lorenzo Styles. Again, great help from the backs, picking up the pressure. Styles to the 45.
Yeah, Navy keeps bringing this free safety into the boundary, into the short side, which in most cases in protection is the responsibility of the running back. Both Tyree and Kyron Williams great in pass protection.
Tyree now is a receiver, no gain, is Jarius Warren, the impact defensive lineman for the midshipman. Makes the tackle, no gain.
Yeah, they actually had a little fake pitch with some seams down the field. Unfortunately, Navy did a good job of staying on top of that and providing some pressure, which caused Jack Cohn just to have to get rid of it to Tyree.
Good sense, Tommy Reese, Notre Dame offensive coordinator, getting some tempo, trying to get the Irish clicking.
Yeah, you feel this linebacker and this nickel both going to come. He's going to roll down. They're going to roll over the top. Oh, they checked out of it.
Here's Cohn, looked right covered, comes back underneath. Gain of 6. That should end the 3rd quarter with the reception for Chris Tyree. Fast-moving 3rd quarter. Irish ran just 7 plays in that 3rd quarter. They lead by 11. We'll return to Notre Dame Stadium after these messages from your local station. You're watching Notre Dame football presented by Gillette. Coverage is brought to you by Geico. Drew, take us into the mind. Tell us what a quarterback is thinking when he sees this.
Hey, this is the game within the game right here. You're going to see Navy's defensive line quick shift, and they're going to bring this pressure, and they're going to roll to a cloud. Well, what do you love against that? You love 4 verticals because you're going to hit this receiver in the deep middle. But the minute you check to that, they check to quarters, which makes your verticals dead plays. You're forced to check it down, and then you're sitting there at 3rd and 5 going, dang it, we just missed out on the big play.
And they bring in Tyler Buckner to start the 4th, and they get all over the run, and they stop it. So the 4th down to start the 4th quarter with Cohn on the sideline, Buckner in the game. As you look at the score by quarter, brought to you by Gillette. Navy had been dominated in the 3rd quarters this year, outscored 59-17. They outscored the Irish 3-0, and Notre Dame's going to have to kick on their 2nd drive of the 2nd half. Jay Bramlett to chance Warren. Bramlett's 4th punt of the afternoon. Warren running up for a fair catch. He's going to let it go. Will they down it before the goal line? Yes, they will. Jack Kaiser is there at the 1. It'll be 99 yards for Navy to go. Time for Above the Rest, brought to you by Jersey Mike's Subs and the triple option.
Yeah, let's watch this triple option, but really just what a good job Notre Dame has done in defending it. Jack Kaiser, who's normally a linebacker, is playing a safety position, but safeties in this game are tacklers. You're not defending any kind of play. But Botello comes off his responsibility, and that gives Navy a big play. That's where those little mistakes, that discipline that you need to have on every single play against this Navy offense really comes into play. Because the minute you bust your responsibility, one of those big plays happens.
That's why it's so different for defenses. You can't do what you do all year against these guys. 99 yards of the backup quarterback. Can Xavier Arline do it to make this a tight one in the 4th quarter?
You think Navy has any 99-yard touchdown passes in their school's history?
Give inside for no gain. 95. In 95, Chris McCoy. That's the school record. This is the punt team going to work. And Jack Kaiser, who we talked about playing that safety role. Heading to the inside the 20 number for Jay Bramlett. Bravo, says the junior from Tuscaloosa.
All right, I'm throwing one up to Michael Cooper here. Yep.
You're gonna do it, huh?
Yeah, you get another chance at a 99-yarder. Let's go.
You're the first ever. Set the school record by 4. 2nd and 10. Line option, ball free in the end zone. Safety. Arline falls on it. Kurt Heinisch was there, forcing the pressure. The Irish will get 2 and take a 13-point lead. What a day for Heinisch.
Yeah, they're just trying to run the veer option here. Not great pitch relationship. You know, that's what you talk about a lot in option football. The pitch relationship between the quarterback and the running back. Running back was very close to him. You misplaced that pitch at all. Really tough way to go out there for Navy. Marcus Freeman is pumped the way his defense is playing right now.
All right, game break. A little update here from West Lafayette, where Purdue has already ruined Iowa's Big Ten season, trying to do it to Michigan State. Chance Doru, the touchdown run. They've just added a field goal, 6.5 left in the 3rd in West Lafayette. Purdue leads Michigan State by 10, 31-21.
How about that? I didn't even realize they were playing down the road today.
What do you mean you didn't realize? I can't keep you on my side of the booth. You got to stay on your side of the booth. I've got a little monitor to keep an eye on other games. You keep coming over here. Stay with your telestrator over there.
I mean, I want to see what the stat is for, we've knocked off the number 2 team. Hopefully we hold on, knock off the number 3 team. I mean, how often does that happen?
It would be typical Purdue, right? They do that so often. And it would be typical Michigan State as well. After the safety, it's a free kick. It's Kyron Williams from the 17, bringing it back, and good blocking for Williams as he comes out to the 46-yard line, a return of 29 yards. So as we were coming back from break, remember the flyover before the game? Of course, one of the military academies playing a great flyover, and one of the pilots, they always get introduced at the game, and a moment ago, a proposal, and she said yes. So we got the flyover, and we got the ride of your life coming up. Congratulations to both of you. A proposal here. Look, there's a lot going on. It's the Purdue game, proposals.
Beautiful Midwest day.
Right.
Leaves changing colors. Are you kidding me? Doesn't get any better than this, Mike.
Braden Lindsay dropped that one on the edge, passing complete.
When are we going to get you an F-18, Mike? Can we get that arranged, please?
I'm great right here in the
Are you sure?
This is a good altitude for me. So, we showed you earlier that number 9 Wake Forest has lost. Michigan State, number 3, is struggling right now. As you look at the college football playoff rankings, which came out, Notre Dame's sitting at number 10, trying to move up. And as we said, they'll need to sweep the final 4 games, plus get help from teams losing. And there are still 4 full weeks of regular season action. And by the time we get done tonight, might be at least 2 out of there. Williams, the second down carry into Navy territory at the 49. Georgia's just rolling right now. Bama LSU later. Spartans trailing. Oregon Washington's a tough game. Big rivalry game there. Ohio State didn't light the world up. Cincinnati, it was a 2-point game when Jack showed you the highlights at halftime. They've extended 14-0 in the third quarter, so they're up 16 on Tulsa. Michigan, Indiana is this evening in Ann Arbor. 3rd and 5 for the Irish. 5 of the pattern. Going to Mayer. First down to the Navy 35. Michael Mayer's 4th catch of the afternoon.
We really need to start feeding Michael Mayer more. He's a guy who has such great zone awareness. Watch him there up top, finding that hole in the zone, coming out of it, what we say, very quarterback friendly. Giving Jack Cohn a place to throw him the ball.
No gain on that one for Mayer. John Marshall, who was the leading tackler in the Army game last year for Navy, with yet another tackle in this one. He's right among the leading tackles for the Naval Academy in this game.
I feel that Notre Dame's picking up the tempo a little bit on offense. They've been stagnant.
Cohn looking left, everything covered. He'll scan and come back and check it down. Williams in the open field. The magic of Kyron Williams. Took nothing to a gain of 14. And an Irish first down to 21. Look out. Pushing after the play, and a flag is thrown late. Williams and Diego Fagot were tangled. And then the freshman Rayon Lane came in there.
I could watch this guy run in the open field all day long. You watch that juke there from Diego Fagot, Navy's best linebacker, breaking tackles. I mean, it's so much fun to watch a guy like that who's 5'9", not quite 200 pounds.
Was a first down after the play. Dead ball. $15-yard penalty. First down.
I think it was Jared Patterson. I thought he said 55. The officials might cut out for a second. Patterson was just talking with Kyron Williams as they walked back to the 36. So because it was a post-play foul, dead ball foul, the first down was achieved, so it's maintained. It moves back to the 36-yard line. And here's the cleanup. Patterson came in. Rayon Lane was standing over Williams. They were yapping. Patterson is the leader of the center, said enough of the line, said enough is enough. Go flat. Avery Davis for the Irish. Taken down at the 20-yard line, gain of 16 for the graduate slot receiver.
And Notre Dame keeps the tempo going there. It's an interior pressure look from Navy, one where you get the ball out quickly to Avery Davis. Been really impressed with the job Avery Davis has done in the slot, especially of these last few weeks. Ball gets in his hands, and he almost runs like Kyron Williams.
Was a running back, was a quarterback. Got a couple of catches here today. From the 20, here is Williams bouncing to the outside, accelerating into the secondary, into the end zone. Williams, did he have possession over the goal line? Yes. Notre Dame touchdown, Kyron Williams.
Really on the field. The runner broke the play in the goal line before the ball came loose. Touchdown, Notre Dame.
And Avery Davis hurt behind the play. looked to see if he had control first over the goal line. We'll focus on that, then we'll come back to the Davis injury. No straight shot down the line there, so you can't change it on that. This is the closest thing to it. Doesn't look like he had possession, that the ball was moving out before. Do you have a clear recovery in replay? Have to double check that. Meantime, Davis was a non-contact and grabbing at his left leg when he went down. You see right there, 3. Slightly engaged with non-contact and then reached for that left leg. As Williams went on and made the moves. And I assume we'll wait to see if replay is going to look at this, or in fact, I didn't hear if they said it was a clear recovery.
The ruling on the field of a touchdown is under further review.
There's the Davis injury there, as you see. So they're going to take another look at that. We did have one look from that opposite side down the line. Let's keep this rolling here, guys, to the end and see if we get a clear recovery one way or the other. Here's the best look they'll have. That looks clearly to be Terry McCauley. I'll bring you in as we're watching. It looked like it was short. I didn't hear if they said they had a distinct ruling in the end zone.
Yeah, Mike, it is short. He does not have control when he gets to the plane of the goal line. But it is important, as you said, that we've got to find out if there's a clear recovery. If there's not a clear recovery, the ball goes back to the offense at the spot of the fumble.
Got it.
So if we can't find that, it's going to be Notre Dame's ball about the half-yard line, it looks like to me.
And Terry, because they called touchdown on the field, there wasn't that rush of officials to unpile the guys and see who had the ball.
Correct. I mean, if they had done that and they had found that on the field of a clear recovery in the pile, then that would have been the ruling of who recovered it.
And right there, Terry, isn't that enough?
On this shot, that's the first one we've seen. That looks to me to be a Notre Dame recovery in the end zone, again, which would make this a touchdown.
Got it.
And there it is. He does come up with it. I agree.
So Williams will, in all likelihood, still get credit for the touchdown because of that recovery. Meantime, we showed you Davis getting hurt. He has gone into the tent to be examined. That Notre Dame has had many injuries this year. It's just one of those seasons where they have lost multiple players, and they hope that Davis is okay. Meantime, they all look up at the big screen to the south end of the stadium as Hank Johns looks at the images with Paul Zukas, the replay official. If it is a Williams touchdown, it's his second on the day, 12th on the season, and 26th of his career. And here's Hank.
After further review, the runner fumbled the ball before getting into the end zone, but then he still recovered it in the end zone for a touchdown. Touchdown, Notre Dame.
All right, so it's upheld, and it's Williams, and it's a 19-point Notre Dame lead, 25-6. And as some would wonder, with interest, the Irish are going for 2 here. Still 10:55 to go. I'm sure Williams doesn't feel great that he fumbled the ball. He'll feel awful about the injury to his teammate. It's being looked at, but it is touchdown number 2 in this great season for Kyron Williams.
So you got Kyron Williams here in this interesting spot. You expected him to go in motion, perhaps a screen of some kind.
Cohen's running that way, throwing that way, and in the back of the end zone, Braden Lindsey's got the 2. Beautiful throw by Cohen, a senior from Oregon. Lindsey with the catch on the best Navy secondary man, Michael McMorris. Irish get a safety, a touchdown, and then a 2 from Lindsey. And the lead is 21. Georgia Tech lost to Miami today. We'll see Jeff Collins' team here in South Bend to wrap up the Notre Dame home schedule. Senior day for Notre Dame in 2 weeks. We'll have it for you on NBC and on Peacock. 2:30 Eastern time will be our start time in 2 weeks. Last time Notre Dame held an opponent without a completion was Georgia Tech back in 1976. No completions for Navy thus far. Haven't completed a pass in 8 quarters and trail by 21. Big hit on the return. Hayward trying to bring it back. Picked up some speed. But Kahanakia makes his first hit. Irish.
Really nice play design on this 2-point conversion. And I love the spread. Leverage now as they've had to pass off these routes. So you've given Braden Lindsey his speed and leverage now. Jack Cohn on the move, find the throwing lane, just the way you would draw this up. Perfect throw, great catch, good execution all the way around.
Xavier Arline and the Navy offense taking over from the 25. Looking for a completion. Arline going to take off and get 3 yards out of bounds at the 28. Justin Ademilola was in pursuit. It's not as though the game against Tulsa last Friday was the first time Navy's had a game without a completion. First time in 4 years for them. They still got the win.
Interesting to see how much passing we might bring into the offense here. Obviously, you're down 3 touchdowns. You're starting to run out of time. And is it going to be just shots down the field, or you're going to build in some concepts here?
Option to the edge. Carlinos AC is brought down. Flag down as well. Xavier Watts with the tackle. Watts, who was a wide receiver, they moved to defense during the season.
Illegal formation. 5 men in the backfield. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
They wanted to get Watts on the field a little bit. Kelly wants to decline that penalty, by the way.
Formation has been declined. 3rd down.
Yeah, Watts with the tackle. Make it 3rd and 5. So a wide receiver who's worked at safety and a nickel, then bang him over to Rover because of all the injuries and everything else. And now here you are out here against Navy. Not the easiest first defensive assignment to get, but he's out there. Arline on the run with the throw. It is caught. There's a completion for Navy for the first time in 8 quarters. Jaden Umbarger with the grab, with Watts over there covering a gain of 18.
Yeah, believe it or not, Mike, this actually looks like my high school offense, passing game right here. Sprint right, sprint left, comebacks outside, good execution by Navy. You know, just this mixing and matching of running vertical routes, you know, slamming on the brakes, running hooks, running comebacks. If they can complete some of these, they should be able to put together a good drive here.
At the 1 minute mark of the 4th quarter, there's a snap infraction and a false start for the offense. The 1 minute mark of the 4th quarter, that Cincy game.
Offside. False start. Offense. The right side of the line. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Hank, it is okay. It is okay. If we said I'm sorry every time we screw up here, we'd be the most sorry group going. You do with that what you'd like. Mention American Conference officials. Navy's been in this conference since 2015. One of the many conferences with lots of changes ahead as the lotto ball-like movement of schools with conferences continues. So American teams moving on to the Big 12 when 2 teams in the Big 12 move to the SEC. Bueno Rojas with the carry. Kai's run will make it 2nd and 12.
It's interesting how they can continue to run the same triple option concepts, but out of different formations. This to me looks like a 2-minute offense from the perspective of, hey, 2-by-2, split out, and yet you bring a guy in motion, he becomes your pitch back, and it's triple option football once again.
Ruas, the fullback. He'll take it inside. And they'll tackle him right around midfield. We saw Kenny Amatololo. 24 of the last 27 years, he's been an assistant coach or head coach at Navy. 11 Commander-in-Chief's trophies, 16 bowls for his entire time as the head coach after replacing Paul Johnson when Johnson went to Georgia Tech. Longest tenure, 14 years. Most wins, 6 of those Commander-in-Chief's trophies. And the most wins in the history of Army-Navy. What a dominant stretch the Naval Academy had until Army has come up with a good run in the last 5 years, winning 4 of the last 5 in advance of their meeting at MetLife Stadium on December 11th. Arline is chased. He's on the run. Got past 2, comes to the sideline, gets out of bounds, and it will set up 4th down. What Ken told us this week as we were preparing for the game, he said, oh, I'm a competitor. I really want to win. It's not the record that I've hoped for, but what a pleasurable year it's been around these guys.
Yeah, look at our line here. Great job avoiding, but look at Michael Cooper wide open down the field. Just as a young quarterback, keep your eyes down the field for as long as you can. Listen, we know you're a great athlete. You're going to be able to run and make a play, but at this stage in the game, being down 21 points, you got to look for the big play opportunity, and that was an opportunity there that unfortunately they weren't able to take advantage of.
Navy's
First time out of the half. Navy. 30 seconds.
Back with the 4th and 5 after this. Aerial coverage is brought to you by Geico. As the sun sets on the first Saturday in November here in South Bend. 4th down and 5 out of the Navy timeout. Irish leading by 21. Trying to beat Navy by 20 or more for the 3rd straight time. Sophomore Xavier Arline dropping a pass, putting it up. It is incomplete. Isaiah Pryor back in coverage. The intended receiver was Carlitos Acey. And Notre Dame will take over at their own 47. Let's go down to Catherine.
Well, Mike, there was major concern for senior wideout and captain Avery Davis. He is out for the remainder of this game with a significant left knee injury. He was in the tent for an extensive period of time. Players from both sides of the ball were going in and out of the tent to speak to him. He is now out of that tent with ice on that left knee, Mike.
Yeah, Drew, we were both looking at which side Williams was running. Happened live when we looked down. You hate to see those non-contact knee injuries.
How you doing? He's been such an incredible leader for that Notre Dame offense as well.
Kevin Austin with the catch on the sideline. He's tackled by Diego Fagot at the 49-yard line of Navy. Notre Dame has already lost Joe Wilkins Jr. to a season-ending knee injury. Lawrence Keys left the team during the season. And if this is a significant injury that keeps Davis out for the remainder of the season, and I'm sure we'll find out the next day or so, the Irish are down to just 5 scholarship receivers for the rest of the year, 3 of whom are freshmen. Colsey, Stiles, and Jayden Thomas, who we have not seen much of. There's Kyle Hamilton, the All-America safety, has been out the last 2 games. Diggs bouncing to the left side, and the freshman running back spins and turns and gets the Notre Dame first down inside the 40-yard line.
Yeah, this guy is a physical runner, Mike. We've seen him the last couple weeks really start to get more and more carries as he's coming in to spell Kyron Williams, but bounces it here. And I mean, tell me what corner wants to tackle this guy. I mean, he's a load. He's going to lower the shoulder. He's going to, meet you at the ground no matter how low you get. He's just a physical runner.
6 feet, 210. Marrero, Louisiana, state champ as a junior. As you saw firsthand, plays such great high school football down in Louisiana. So it was 3rd and 1. Cohn comes to Austin. Good move in the open field. Austin having a huge game to the 32-yard line. Give him 12 there and 139 on the evening.
Notre Dame may be up 21 points, but they still have the creativity. That was pumping the screen, actually, to Kevin, and then looking down the field, trying to get a down the field shot to Michael Mayer. End up coming back and throwing that screen, in essence, as a check down, but still getting 10 yards.
Quarterback comparison brought to you by Under Armour. Most yards since the season opener for Cohn. 201 was his average coming in. He's 23 of 29. Doesn't feel like he's had a spectacular game. Yet you look at the numbers, and they look as good as any since the opener in Tallahassee. Williams pushed down. He didn't have balance. 26-yard line again. That good-looking freshman, Rayon Lane. He's been around a lot Went from 4th string on the depth chart at the start of the season. A guy they never thought would be starting to a key part of this defense.
You know, back to Jack Cohn and just kind of the difference in this passing game now. You know, you walk away from the game and you say, well, there wasn't any really flashy plays, but it's efficiency. It's efficiency. I really think that's what they're striving for in the passing game. Is it doesn't need to be anything really pretty other than just getting completions, moving the chains, and scoring touchdowns when you get in the red zone. But Jack Cohn's been up above 70% if you took the last 3 games, and just really, really efficient all the way around.
Flag down thrown in there where the hole was opening up for Kyron Williams with 4:22 to go. We'll check with Hank Johns one more time.
Personal foul. Tripping. Number 75 of the offense. 15 yards from the previous spot. 3rd down.
Rare that you get that. Look at the...
2nd down. 2nd down.
Thank you. Look at the clock. It's at 6:34, so that means we are right at sunset here in South Bend. And look at that.
Well, that's beautiful.
What a November day. Southern Bend to the St. Joe River. Went through northwest Indiana, in this area near the Michigan-Indiana border, referred to as Michiana. You don't get many days like this time of year. See what it's like in a couple of weeks when Georgia Tech comes in November 20th. Gray, cold, rainy, snowy. Plenty of those Navy games. 4:22 remaining now. After the penalty on Josh Lugg. Diggs looking for space, and he finds it. The acceleration from the freshman Logan Diggs with a face mask flag on top of the long gain for a 1st down. 23 on the run.
Picked up 23 yards. Flag on the play.
Career long run by Diggs.
Personal foul. Face mask. Number 18 in the defense. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic. 1st down.
Lane again.
You know what we've really noticed about this guy, Logan Diggs? The patience. The first initial hole isn't there. He's not panicking. He's waiting, slides, and then inevitably he has one defender to beat. He beats him at the line of scrimmage, and the only way to get this guy down, I guess, is to pull his face mask, because he is really running the ball in a physical way right now.
And Lane is saying, wait a minute, he had a finger and he was pushing my face mask, and they let the offense.
Yeah, those stiff arms are always up around the face as well.
So 1st and goal, and it's Diggs 4-yard here, 3:50 to go. Well, we talk about Diggs and we talk about 3 freshman receivers left for the Irish. And for those of you who are fans of the TV show, the succession on offense for Notre Dame. Joe Alt started his 4th consecutive game at left tackle today. Tyler Buckner, we saw for some key snaps on a drive in the 2nd quarter. Logan Diggs, we're watching right now. 7 carries, 51 yards, his best game so far. Deion Colsey had a 31-yard catch earlier today. And Lorenzo Styles, who's been part of the offense, actually the leading receiver the last couple of games. And there is Buckner back in here as they're inside the red zone. Part of the future in the end zone, Diggs. Freshman to freshman as the Irish add on.
Something tells me we're going to be calling out that connection for a long time here, Mike. Buckner's like, hey, you just brought me in for one play to hand it off, and we score. One of their bread and butter plays, duo or America's play, as we defined it a couple weeks back.
Give me those double teams.
A lot of double teams up front. Logan Diggs, the patient runner that he is, finds the hole, walks in nearly untouched.
Notre Dame has scored 17 here this 4th quarter to take a 34-6 lead. 430 total yards for the Irish as they pulled away in this 2nd half. I feel bad for all those people who own those cars in the parking lot. They don't get to watch the Peacock postgame after the game on Peacock here in the shadow of the Golden Dome. Corey Robinson, Golden Tape. Good to have Golden with us. The Notre Dame stars of yesteryear. They'll have all the highlights with Brian Kelly's press conference. So Tai Lavatai, the quarterback for Navy, get hurt in the 1st half. For the remainder of this one, Put that shoulder in a harness. Navy will have East Carolina game at Temple after an off week next week, and then the game with Army, the 122nd renewal of that great American Classic. J.D. Bertrand, the tackle on the kickoff return. It's out to the 23-yard line, bringing the progressive game flow of how we've arrived at 34-6. Kevin Austin, career day. 6 for $139. And that 70-yard touchdown. Mentioned Lavatai's injury right before halftime. The sophomore quarterback done. And then the safety started the avalanche here. 17 points in the third quarter where Navy has just been worn down. Kyron Williams has 2 on the day, 12 on the season. The third of the Notre Dame touchdowns. Kurt Hinish is over on the sideline.
Was he trying to hide from the camera?
He's done enough work today. He's been terrific up front for Notre Dame. Xavier Arline on the pitch. Run out to the 30-yard line for Daniel Jones, the sophomore from Lauderhill, Florida. So North Carolina puts up 8 gazillion points last week and this week. That was last week. Virginia, with one of the top passing offenses in the country, is next. Then Georgia Tech, who lost today. Stanford blown out, shockingly blown out by a very good, really on the rise Utah team out on the farm last night. That's what's left for the Irish. So they have a great chance to get to 11-1. The question will be will that be enough to get back to the college football playoff? The toughest game from a probability standpoint, Cavaliers. 523 yards of offense, 573 yards on average, 523 last time out against BYU. Big concern will be Brennan Armstrong, their quarterback, who has the most pass yards in the FBS. Had a rib injury. They're on a bye this week. So we'll be watching closely to see what Bronco Mendenhall has to say about his quarterback before Virginia Notre Dame in Charlottesville next Saturday. Unsure the starting time yet. 3rd and 2. Pitch to the edge and the first down run for Daniel Jones as he's out of bounds on the Irish sideline over by the 41-yard line. We've got $1:47 left. Hope you can hang around with us when the game's over. One of my favorite moments of the college football season. Notre Dame and Navy teams together will go honor each school shoulder to shoulder. They'll sing the alma mater for Navy and then come over and do it for Notre Dame. Many who made the trip, midshipmen who made the trip from Annapolis. Some of whom sure have friends who are students at Notre Dame, come over to hang with them in the student section. Great honor of the respect of this rivalry coming up. 1 for 2 on the edge. Kel Haywood, the kick returner, getting a carry here in this final 90 seconds. Notre Dame's going to beat Navy by 20 or more for the 3rd straight year. That hasn't happened since 1992 to 1994. Side run for a yard. News coming up for many of you, and then after that, 8 o'clock Eastern time. You've been there where the surf meets the turf. It's right in your backyard. Del Mar for the Breeders' Cup Classic tonight.
Not many racetracks like that one. It's a special place.
It is. Morning line odds for the Classic could go a long way to determining horse of the year. Knicks Go, 5-2 choice. Then Essential Quality, Hot Rod Charlie, and Medina Spirit. The horse that crossed the line first, the Kentucky Derby. Still technically the Derby winner. We're waiting on the Kentucky Horse Racing Commission. Month 6 of that weight. Those are the co-third choices at 4-1. And that should be the final play of this one. So Notre Dame's going to improve to 8-1, Navy 2-7, and you've seen the physicality, the desire to win here from both teams, the head-to-head battle. But what you'll see for the next few minutes is what's at the root of this rivalry, what's at the root of these many matchups that we talked about at the very beginning of the broadcast, the institutional respect that carries on through generations. As Isaac Ruas takes the final carry, clock hits 0, and the Irish win 34-6, scoring 17 in the half and limiting Navy to 3, just as they did in the first half. Brian Kelly comes over to see Ken Niumatalolo. And Brian just reminds Ken, as has been tradition here for some time, we'll be heading down to your end, down to the southeast corner of the stadium for Navy blue and gold. Kurt Hinish with a check on Ty Lavatai and Marcus Freeman, the coordinator for Notre Dame, who went up against this Navy triple option during his time at Cincinnati. It's a reminder of what these Navy players are, these young men, ages 18 to 22. They are the future leaders of the country, of the Navy. They will be the officers who lead so many midshipmen in so many different endeavors. And that's why to see these two schools stand shoulder to shoulder after 3.5 hours of the physical battle of college football reminds you that there is so much more to certain games and certain rivalries like this one. A representation of what the core of competition is. We've lost a little bit of it with the greed, the money involved in football and in college sports. It's a reminder what it's really all about. Physically against each other for 3 hours, standing shoulder to shoulder as brothers in honor of two world-class institutions. Navy blue and gold, the alma mater for just under a century of the United States Naval Academy. To be played, to be shared. And it ends with those two words, beat Army, that you hear so often in Annapolis. And most of the crowd has stayed here in South Bend. They know this is coming, and they gave a hand to the Navy players and the midshipmen who've made the trip. And they hope to sing second in 5 weeks at MetLife Stadium, because whoever wins that game gets to sing second. And the team that doesn't win the Army-Navy game, nobody loses the Army-Navy game. You don't win that one. That's the side that sings first. And then in conversation and brotherhood, they'll come from that northeast corner of this stadium, diagonally across the field to the southwest corner, and join the Notre Dame players as they sing Notre Dame, Our Mother. Tommy Rees, the offensive coordinator for Notre Dame, who played in this game. Matter of fact, one of his first scoring drives was in this game. Tommy told us this week, you know, when you look back, this moment where you sing the alma mater with Navy and the players and the coaches, it's one of the top 2 or 3 things. You remember plays, you remember wins, but moments like this, because it doesn't happen for every Navy opponent. It doesn't happen for most teams when they play against each other, but it does in this rivalry that started because the two schools needed each other back in the 20s, and Notre Dame needed Navy to keep this institution afloat during World War II, when most young men who would have been Notre Dame students were at war. That's why this series endures, why the respect continues. And now the Notre Dame alma mater. So cool. So terrific. I hope a lot of our leaders around the country see that we can disagree, but we can also come together in great spirit and togetherness. That togetherness is what makes our country great, and what a great example of that here tonight. Catherine Tapper with Brian Kelly.
All right, Coach, a tradition unlike any other, the two alma maters being sung. How special is that moment for you as a head coach?
It's pretty special. I mean, the respect that we have for the academy, and certainly for the players that play in this game, and the coaches. You play it on the field, it's hard fought, and you can't give an inch against this team, and then to be able to sing the alma mater with them after is what competition's all about.
It's one thing to prepare for the triple option all week. What will be your biggest takeaway about how your team performed in this game tonight?
Well, again, you only get a couple of days. I think our scout team did a great job of giving us that look, and then we executed extremely well. I thought our front was outstanding. Our linebackers played well. The back end was really good. I mean, we gave up one reverse play. Other than that, we were on it, and then we were opportunistic. We made our plays offensively. Didn't get off to a great start, but we kept at it. And Kyron ran well. We were able to get the running game, made some big plays in the passing game. And once we were able to get that extension, a couple of touchdowns, it made it hard for them because we were so good on defense today.
You faced so much adversity this season with significant injuries to your team. We saw Avery Davis late in the fourth quarter go out with a significant knee injury. Can you just speak to about what he's meant to this program over his last 5 years?
Look, I mean, almost, irreplaceable in a sense that his leadership, being a captain, what he does for us, playing and play out, blocking, we'll see what happens. We're obviously going to get him checked out further, but, he's such an important piece of our football team, and, we're playing without Kyle, but there'll be the next guy that'll have to step up for us, and, that's the unfortunate part, but these guys will keep pushing forward.
Coach, thanks so much.
Thanks, Catherine.
Mike?
All right, Catherine, thank you. Avery Davis injuring his knee. What a big role he's had this year, but what a big role he played last year on this Notre Dame team. We'll never forget being in here for the Clemson game, number 1 against number 4. Davis had the big catch to get him down there, that touchdown in the end zone, part of Notre Dame's victory over number 1 Clemson. Avery told us a couple of weeks ago what a crazy roller coaster it's been, playing quarterback, running back, corner, back to wide receiver. It's been humbling but a blessing, and this non-contact injury in the fourth quarter. He told us a couple of weeks ago, I wrote down after the bye week to appreciate every single day. You got a lot of young guys around here, can't wait for this or that, but knowing my role on the team and something that the road I've been on, I have to slow down and appreciate it. So sorry to see him injured there. Drew White takes a selfie. Back to Catherine.
Yeah, and I'm standing by with Kurt Heinisch. Kurt, a significant performer tonight for this defense. You had a big sack in the game as well. How did you feel about your own personal play today?
I feel like I played well. Our scout team offensive line did a tremendous job this week getting us ready for this offense. And shout out to Chase Ketterer throughout the whole week. He played scout team quarterback and really took the bull by the horns and did a great job.
How difficult is it to play against this triple option?
I mean, these guys from Navy, they're the toughest guys I've ever played against. Mentally, physically, you're getting their best every single play. It's an honor to play against them, and I really appreciate what they do for our country. So that's all I have to say about that.
Your parents have made this trip from Pittsburgh to South Bend every single week. Mom got up at 4:30 this morning to make you your special spaghetti sauce for tonight. What can you say about what your parents mean to you and the support they've had?
They mean the world to me. I am who I am today because of them. They, not to get too emotional about it, but I love them so much.
All right, Kurt, thanks so much. Appreciate it. We've got Kevin Austin here behind us. Congratulations on the win today. Can you talk me through your 70-yard touchdown and what you saw in that play?
Yeah, it was cover 2. I knew that there was a hole. So once I saw that, I knew that Jack was going to get it there and I was going to hit it.
When you look at the chemistry that you and Jack have, how has it evolved over the course of the season?
Oh, it's evolved tremendously. From the first game to this game right now, we've been on so many more connections in practice and in the game.
We saw an injury to Avery Davis late in this game. Were you able to go and have a couple words with him?
Yeah, we're not really sure of his status yet. We're just obviously praying for him, hoping that he comes back next week and he, is with us.
And Kevin, when you look at the tradition between these two teams, the rivalry, 94th meeting between you and Navy this weekend, what was it like being out there for the alma maters and knowing what this game represents?
I mean, obviously it's an honor playing in this game. We all talk about it, that this is a really big game to play in due to the tradition and due to the history. So it's always an honor to be able to play in this game.
You put the triple option behind you now. You focus on Virginia. What do you like about your team going into that game next weekend?
Oh, we're very tight. We're very close. We know that we're going to be in an away stadium, so we're going to have to be close and tight together in that stadium.
All right, Kevin, go in the locker room. Enjoy this one.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Mike.
All right, Catherine, thank you. Drew, you were watching as this game ended, and we talked about its respect that makes this rivalry. It's not Army-Navy. Nothing is. But it does have a special place, and your thoughts as you've experienced it for the first time.
I mean, it does, and I was pretty speechless during that whole sequence. Watching them walk down together, talking. They've just been on the battlefield, so to speak, together, and now they're arm in arm, and they're singing each other's alma maters. And Ty Lavatai said something this week, quarterback for Navy. He said, choosing to go to Navy, it wasn't a 4-year plan; it's a 40-year plan. So it just shows the mindset of these young men at that age, at 18 years old. Already having this plan in mind as to going to the Naval Academy, being a student, being an athlete, but developing the character and the leadership skills that are really going to propel them into positions of leadership in this country for a very long time, both in the military, in business, in politics. But these are the type of men that I think we all look at with a great amount of pride, knowing that they're the ones leading our country.
And what does the Naval Academy do and all the service academies? They give us a chance to enjoy the freedoms. And we're reminded the history of this rivalry. They help keep this institution afloat when it matters the most. Great to connect the two one more time. Post-game show is coming up for you with Brian Kelly's press conference on Peacock. Don't forget, we're an hour away from the Breeders' Cup Classic, live in primetime from Del Mar here on NBC. We're back in 2 weeks. Will the Irish have a senior day against Georgia Tech? Well, I'll see you for Football Night in America as well, for the Rams and Titans on Sunday Night Football. And don't forget the NASCAR Championship tomorrow as well. With Drew Brees, Catherine Tapp, and our entire team, our producer, Rob Hyland, our director, Annapolis' own Charlie Dameyer, Mike Tirico saying good night from South Bend. Thanks for watching Notre Dame Football, presented by Gillette.